everybody, and welcome to today's video. And in today's video, I will be discussing whether or not I think that Republicans can still win presidential elections, as we are just seeing if Republicans can win, and I don't think that they would be able to win in a lot of those states. So I'm just gonna only really leave open states that Republicans could potentially win in. Like, some of them are not very realistic, like Nevada. I don't think that Republicans have a great shot in Nevada. I think that there's a chance they could win Nevada. I don't know that they 100% will, though. Sorry if this is a little glitchy, but as you can see, hold up. The Republicans at 125, Democrats at 212. They need, I believe, 145 electoral votes to get there. So the first two states I think we can classify are Iowa and Ohio. I think that at this point, these two states are states that Democrats probably won't win again for a while, if at all. Democrats have lost both times in the last two elections by about 8 points each time. I think that Ohio is more likely to go blue than Iowa, although I don't think that either will go blue. I think that Democrats obviously should still campaign in Iowa for maybe a hope, but I think that they should still go after Iowa or Ohio one time just to see if they can get a shot at it. And because they could definitely narrow it up. If there was an Obama-like candidate, then they could there's a solid chance that they would win in Ohio. But I think that right now it is definitely a pretty conservative state. So from there, right now they're at 149. The next state that I think they'll get some electoral votes from is Texas. I think that Texas won't go blue in 2024. I think there's a solid chance that it will in 2028 or 2032. I think that right now it's not looking to. I think it'll be a very small margin. I'm just labeling everything as likely just so we can see the difference. I think it'll probably be a tilt or a low lean if they were to win there. Or if, I think that it will be a tilt or a low lean either way. If Democrats were to win there, I think it would be a lot like Georgia, where it's a very tight margin. But I'm not very confident in Democrats being able to win there, or at least next election. And from here, I think that they'll get the next electoral vote to remain second. Donald Trump won here by likely margins, I believe 8 or 7%. I think that at this point it is a pretty conservative area. It's an area like Ohio and Iowa the Democrats might be able to win if they run an Obama-like candidate that can really drive up turnout. But I don't know that they'll be able to win there. Democrats, I mean. From here, where are they going to get their next electoral video? I think that there's a decent chance the Democrats win there. I think that there's a decent chance the Republicans win there. But at this point, I think that Republicans still have a decent shot at winning Georgia, although it could easily be classified a lot later. It could be classified after a lot of other states. I'm just classifying it now because it's right there. I think I actually will leave it. Actually, no, I'm not do it. But this is probably one of the states that would be classified later. And as you can see, they only need 12 more electoral votes? No, 22. That's my bad. But from here, I think that the most likely spot for them to get more electoral votes from is Wisconsin. Joe Biden won it by a smaller margin than Donald Trump did in 2016. So I think that this is a very tight state. I think at this point, this is the state that they're most likely to get these last electoral votes from. And at this point, these electoral votes from, and at this point, they only really need one more state, like Nevada or New Hampshire. They could win, and they would need multiple states. But at this point, with the remaining states, I think that it would either be down to Pennsylvania or Arizona. I don't know that they would win Pennsylvania. I don't know that they would win Arizona. Pennsylvania went to Democrats by lean margins. Arizona went to Democrats by very small margins, or by like 0.3%, something around there. Like, I'm pretty sure less than half a percentage point, so a very, very tight margin. However, I do think that Arizona is getting bluer. It has 2 Democratic senators, and they obviously voted for Joe Biden. And I think that there's a good chance if their governor, I forgot his name, but if their governor, Ducey, I don't remember his first name, but I think that there was a good chance that if he does run for Senate, he will lose. If he runs for governor, he might lose that as well. I think that Democrats have a solid shot at making this a bluer state, although I don't know that it will remain a bluer state. But same with Pennsylvania. They could also, Republicans that is, could also take Pennsylvania. Joe Biden won it by lean margins, very small margins. But I think that in this Rust Belt region, I said this in my last video, it all really depends on how voters see Democrat and Republicans' messages towards employment and manufacturing jobs, because these are big manufacturing areas. So it really depends. But I think that at that point, they're probably going to get next votes from either Pennsylvania or Arizona. And even if Democrats were to win Arizona, let's just use Arizona in this, and they were to win all these remaining states, Republicans would win. I don't think that that's necessarily a entirely likely scenario. It was very close to happening. In fact, this is literally that's the 2020 map right there. So had Republicans won these 3 states, they would have won. I don't necessarily think that that's 100% realistic. I think that Donald Trump, he exceeded all expectations when he won all these states. I thought at least that he would have been lucky to win a couple of these battleground states, and a lot of these, excluding Ohio and Iowa, are really, really tight states that could go either way. And I think that at this point in America, a Republican would have to be an Obama-like Republican candidate that can win a lot, and I think that they would have to be incredibly lucky to be able to take Texas, Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Maine second. I think they would have to be incredibly lucky to take all those states in one election. Actually, as you can see, they would be getting more votes from battlegrounds than they would from safe states. While Democrats, if you look at their safe states, you take out all these battlegrounds. I think that was actually all the battlegrounds that they won. They're at 213. They only need a little. So at this point, I think that Republicans would have to be very lucky, and they would have to do incredibly well to win elections. The answer is still yes, Republicans can still win elections, but I don't know that they would have to be incredibly lucky, and they would have to do very, very well in a lot of states that they would not be expected to do well in the same election. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, please like and subscribe. Stay tuned for my next video, whenever that may be, and I'll see you there. Bye.